Hi everyone. I realized after I finished my recording yesterday that I forgot to show you the picture I said I was going to show you. Doesn't that look lovely? It looks lovely. Beautiful puffy clouds, the mountains, you know, beautiful, beautiful picture, right? Yeah, it was 106 degrees when I took that picture. Ah, how awful. It should have been nice and, you know, in the upper 60s, lower 70s, and a little bit overcast and drizzly. That's not what it was. It was hot and muggy. Anyway, so I wanted to show that to you guys. I don't know why I wanted to show you guys that, but I did. Now we're going to pop back over here to pattern-collections.com to find today's pattern and pattern focus. Last one of the week. Zip Fern. And if you guys have no idea what I was talking about with that picture, look at yesterday's video. Oops, where did it go? I was there. It went back to home by Zip Fern. There we go. Okay, so it's sort of organic. This one's by Karen Frank. Looks like we're going to start out with a trio of circles. Like that. Step 2, on the inside of these circles, we're going to do a little echo right there. And then step 3, we're going to continue to echo that until they meet in the middle. I noticed that this one's got more bits than this one and that one, so it doesn't matter which one ends up, they could be longer or shorter or whatever. So we're going to aim toward the middle. So you want to make sure these are as spread out as you want them to be, right? And then step 4, we're going to do that same sort of echo coming out the other way. And we're going to do that 3 or 4 times, however long you want it to be, and ending with a little loop. You'll note that those loops are different sizes, and they just sort of organic-y, right? And then in between the little loops, we're going to do a little spirally doop, loop-de-doop right there. Whoop-a-doop-a-doop. And that is your finished piece. So this looks like a fun little tangle. See that at the end they did those little teardroppy shapes off to the side. We can do all sorts of fun stuff with this. Oh, pardon me. I imagine that if you want, you could do it with more than 3 little arms to start with as well. But we'll do it just the way the pattern shows and see what happens. It actually looks like one that might be fun to do on a distressed tile. I have one left. So I'm going to do that. Why not? Turn on my light. Zoom you guys in a little bit. There we go. Let's do it on a distressed tile. Why not? I like to use a PN nib, a plastic nibbed pen with my distressed tile. I think I will use, this one's brown instead of black. I think I'll use the brown one. So the description I might not remember to change the description, but on this particular tile, because I'm using the distressed ink, I'm going to use the Micron PN, which means it has a plastic nib. Let me show you what that looks like. There's the plastic nib, and there's the regular nib. You can really tell. Oops, go wrong direction. You can really tell a difference between those 2 nibs. There's a huge difference. This one is easy to squash that. You see right at the end of the tip right there is the black tube where the ink comes out on the regular nib, and then it has a silver part. It's really easy if you are heavy-handed to push that little black tip into the silver part and ruin the tip of your pen and make it so that it doesn't write anymore. The plastic ones are much better for if you're heavy-handed. Anyway, that's my lesson on pens today. I just wanted to let you know that I was using something different. A lot of people ask. So since I already have these kind of like splotches on here, I'm going to use them to my advantage and use that as sort of the focal middle part. And I'm going to put one here, maybe one here, one here. So I want them out a little bit so they build toward the middle. I'm going to put the circle here, and I'm going to put a circle here, and one like right there. Kind of goes with my distressing. Whoops. And then this is toward my middle right there. So I'm going to echo here a couple of times like that. And then I'm going to do that for this one. And for this one. And then just a little extra bit here until we get them to kind of conglomerate there in the middle. Okay. And then we do it outward. And since this is getting close to the edge, I'm going to do this one kind of bending itself this direction. Like that, with a kind of a teardroppy thing at the end. Like so. And like that. It's kind of, these ended up kind of straight across. I didn't do such a good job of making sure that because this was so close to the edge, I think it needed to go that way, but it's all right. And then we want to make sure we have this little curly bit. It's part of the tangle. Like that. I think that's kind of small in the scheme of things. It ended up smaller than I thought I was going to have. So I'm going to put a bigger one here. So I'm going to go further out from my circle. I'm going to put one here, here, and here, I think. I think this is going to have 4 arms, this one. Yeah, why not? It's going to go off the edge of the page, which I don't usually do, but on these distress tiles, I tend not to make a border. I tend to just go all the way to the edge. So I'm going to be a little bit more robust with my interior bits here. There is another tangle that uses this sort of stacked rocks kind of look. I don't remember its name, so I'm not really helpful for you. Sorry about that. You'll notice these are not all the same size. They're just random and organic. We're just going to aim ourselves to the middle here. Like that. There we go. And then outward. Make sure I have at least 3. I can probably put more if I want. but at least 3 little things coming out, and then our teardrop. This one's just going to go off the page. Like that. This one's going to go here and here. Like that. And you will see something coming off the edge that way. You're not going to see most of that side. And I'm going to go ahead and go behind that and let it go ahead and live. Like that. I like it when my tangles can overlap because it makes them seem more alive on the page. And I feel like my orbs are kind of like it needs something in this negative spaces. I do like putting a little bit more, maybe some fescue in here. I'm going to add a little something to this. I'm not happy with just this little swirly bit. Maybe even I can even do another loop-de-loop in there. I like that better. Yeah, I feel like it needed a little extra. So since I can't draw tomorrow, decided today to draw an extra drawing, and I'm going to do the one that Lou asked me to do. If you want to do a little sneak ahead, it's going to be called Sunspots you're going to have to look it up yourself. Instead of being at pattern-collections.com, it's at tanglepatterns.com. So I don't have permission to show that website on my channel. So you'll just have to look that up yourself. I'm assuming this is the pattern that you were talking about. It's the only one I could find with that name. I feel like I want some just random orbs that will kind of give it a cohesion that it doesn't have yet. That's better. I needed a few extra orbs. Okay. So down here in the corner, I'm going to put, what is the name of this? I have already forgotten. Zip Fern. Where do I want to put the name? Over here. Okay, and then I'm going to do a little bit of highlights and a little bit of shading. And what did I do last time? I did something with, oh, what did I do? I used a brown and a white colored pencil, huh? Yes, indeed. Where I used my silver or my gold. What did I use? I don't remember now. I really like how this tile turned out. I used my white. I think I used the gold for the darks. Let me try that. Is that what I used? I don't think so. Must have used the brown. Must have used the brown. Yeah. Okay, I used the brown. I need to sharpen that. Excuse me just a moment while I sharpen my pencil. Just gonna do my little overlaps. Not a lot, just a little bit. That's why I wanted a sharper pencil, because when I use these color pencils to shade with, I'm not usually blending. So I just want just a little bit, a hint of it. I don't want a lot. And I do think maybe I'll get out either the silver or the gold and add some silver or gold to this tile. But I think the brown is the way to go with the shading part. It's a little different than your normal shading, because it's on the distress tile. It's already got a lot of color and interest going on. Don't want to overdo. Something like that. Okay, maybe I will use the gold. So anytime I color with a colored pencil, I'm using a Prismacolor Premier pencils. I don't have anything else, so I don't use anything else. You don't have to use what I use. You can use whatever you have on hand. I must say though, I've tried, just my personal preference, I have tried the inexpensive set of colored pencils from Michaels, the Artists Loft colored pencils. I found them extraordinarily difficult to work with. And so I actually gave them away to my nieces so that they could just, you know, color in the regular old coloring books with them. They're fine for that, but they are really, they're not good for shading and for blending. I just found them to be extraordinarily difficult to work with, so I gave them away. I think if I was back to purchasing the, you know, and didn't have a lot of money and didn't know where to start, and I know Prismacolors are extremely expensive, so you know, if you don't have the money for that, I totally get it. But if I was going to go back and buy beginner color pencils again, I actually think I would go with Crayola. I think they're a better pencil. And then I'm just going to use a white, and I'm going to do a highlight, and that'll really make them pop. Oh, I like that. The white just, it's amazing how that and that looks so different with just a teeny bit. I'm not hardly pushing on the pencil at all. I'm barely making a mark, but it's just enough to give it that pop that it needs to just make it stand out. It's crazy. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I'm really having fun with these distress tiles. I'm gonna have to make myself some more. I don't have, I think this is my last one. You never know when the distress tile is just gonna call out your name, so you know, I need to have a few available so that when my tile just speaks to me and says, you want to be done on a distress tile, that I have that available. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I have some time tomorrow to play. I just don't have any time to record because there would be too many people in the house. So maybe I'll play with just getting out my watercolor paper and getting a few more tiles done. What I did with this is I just made a big sheet and then cut it into squares. And I have a video on that somewhere a few months ago. So awesome. Okay, done. Look how fast and easy that was. Perfect. I love it. Okay, so this one is Zip Fern. Super fun, easy to do, organic. You know I love my organic tangles. And yeah, boom, done, finished. I will see you guys tomorrow with the special request one, and then I don't know what I'm going to do for Tuesday yet. And then Wednesday I'll be back with the regular daily patterns. I'll just double up on them until I've got it all cut up. So be on the lookout for that, and I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.